13 April, Monday, 2026, Proof of Life, Mental Acuity. I went to Orlando this last weekend, and so I hadn't done a few of these videos. But, of course, I was chased all the way over there, and then back today, last night, this morning, same thing. I made a post today to remind people my ask was never about European Americans who like to call themselves white. Ever stop being bigoted. Just assume you're going to be. Or even racist, because it's kind of, it's a difference of skin, whatever. But while you're doing so, could you not quit screwing yourselves over? That was always the ask. The whole DEI thing, you guys get all up in arms about because you got to compete. That was what Charlie Kirk was. His famous thing was, with his airline pilot metaphor. But that metaphor comes from the assumption he's going to be incompetent because we purposely make them incompetent. We don't let them have access to education, knowledge, and wisdom, and then we destroy their community as a psychopathic externalization of the negative itself. So I get it. You see, so for the psychopaths who's externalized all of their negative itself onto persons of melanated skin tones, to see them as equal, especially as a cisgender male, freaks them the fuck out because they know how badly their behavior is absolutely abhorrent. And they know their behavior is abhorrent. And they don't know what are they going to do now if they can't be complete jackasses and have a cultural system that backs up their scapegoating and externalizations. And that's why they run to religion, because, well, it's God told me. Okay. God created everybody in its image or his image. However, we're not getting arguments what God is, but let's look at it as, if we look at it as, from what we know, we're all just energy, right? And that energy is all God at its purest core, minus all gods, demons, and demigods, and demi-demons, and all the other crap that every single religion seems to have. We're supposed to have free will as energetic beings. And so it is not within, quote, God's... It's get that understanding of where, I think it was Nietzsche who stated that man made God in our image. And so how we view God is how we behave. It kind of makes sense. But that was what was cool about laws, is that if you don't know how to behave, like constrain your behavior, and these are rewards. Unfortunately, they keep constraining the behaviors and got all these rewards, and then they want to unconstrain all of the behaviors, which will actually destroy all of the rewards. Thinking they're going to be the few who will actually gain all of the rewards for the destruction of the past rewards. It's a strange way they bounce back and forth in their minds. Oh, but, can't say that it's not. In their minds, it's getting away with it, so why should they quit? Well, I can't have you keep screwing with this because it's actually bad for business. Flipping coins, the way we've been doing for the last, since the 70s always leads to ruin. And that's what we've been doing with printing money in our fiat currency. And then Trump's going to exploit that with Bitcoin and stablecoin, making sure they're all backed by treasuries. So we have to print more money because they're going to want more treasuries. And meanwhile, he'll just get richer, him and his family, for destroying the United States. The United States could be a shell of nothing. But even if it dissolves, they'll still need Bitcoin, and they'll say, hey, you need to sell us your treasuries. They've win-win either way. That's what they're trying to do. So they don't have to listen to anything anybody else says. That's where all these moves and all this technology is moving towards. Anywho, have a great day. Make a choice. How are you going to ride the wave? If you ride it in their direction, there's not going to be much for you. They'll have everything, but you'll have very little, even if you have, quote, a lot. Way worse than it is now. If you stop them, then there's way more money in it, way more to have, because we removed all of it from being sucked up to the top and pushed back down and gathered throughout, making way more money for everyone. The whole Kennedy statement, a rising tide lifts all boats. We see the stars at night from Earth, thinking there is nothing but darkness, but it is the truth that there is only nothing but stars, planets, and galaxies. Life throughout life, throughout life. Which future at present do we wish for?